Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is Wednesday, a beautiful day to dive into some absolute daytime television madness. Grab a huge cup of coffee because we have a mountain of drama to unpack today. I am running on literal fumes right now, staring at this screen way too long, but I just had to get this report out to you guys before my deadline hits. So let's just get right into it because my jaw is still on the floor. Will Spencer and Elektra Forrester? Oh my god. I mean, we all knew something was going to give, right? After weeks and weeks of the most agonizing, toxic, overbearing control from Ridge and Eric, these two finally snapped. And honestly, good for them. I mean, let's be real here for a second. The Forrester men have been acting like absolute dictators lately. I know Will messed up a few episodes ago. We all saw him punch RJ at the beach house. We all saw RJ's bruised face and the horrible fallout from that. But the way Ridge and Eric handled it, total, absolute overkill. And you know what happens when you back to emotional, passionate young people into a corner. They rebel, they explode, they do something crazy. Exhausted by the harsh, relentless control of Ridge and Eric, Will completely changed his strategy. He didn't just sit around moping or drinking at the bikini bar like we thought he was going to do. No, he tracked Elektra down. He looked her right in the eyes and he convinced her to just run away to escape. To leave the toxic Forrester bubble behind and find actual freedom. But here's the thing. The really crazy thing, she actually said yes. Elektra, the good Forrester girl, the one who always tries to please her family, she said yes to running away. Let's rewind a bit because just a minute ago, Elektra was literally throwing her necklace at Will. She had moved out of the beach house. She was entirely done with him and his violent outbursts and his corporate secrets. But Ridge just couldn't leave well enough alone. Ridge cornered her with that brutal ultimatum, demanding she cut ties with Will completely to save her career at Forrester Creations. He acted like he literally owned her. He treated her like a piece of property, not a human being, and Eric. Eric banished Will from the Forrester mansion like he was some kind of peasant being exiled by a medieval king. It was so dramatic and so unnecessary. So, when Will came to her, desperate and broken, but offering a way out, you could see the exact moment Elektra's brain just shifted gears. She realized that her family wasn't protecting her at all. They were suffocating her. They were putting conditions on her love and her life. So they packed whatever they could, they got out of Los Angeles, and they ran. To Las Vegas. Yes, you guys, Las Vegas. The classic, messy soap opera elopement destination. I can't even believe the writers went there, but they did. And let me tell you, the scenes in Vegas were wild. It wasn't some grand, elegant Forrester wedding with a custom-designed haute couture gown and $1 million budget and press everywhere. It was a small, secret, gritty little ceremony in a dimly lit Vegas chapel. And it was honestly kind of perfect. Like, it felt raw, it felt real. Will was standing there, looking like he hadn't slept in days, wearing whatever he threw on before they fled, but looking at Elektra like she was the only person in the entire world. They exchanged vows, and it wasn't polished at all. They were stumbling over their words, crying, Will promise to protect her from everything, including her own family. He swore that they would be together no matter what the Forresters tried to do to tear them apart. He promised her freedom. And Elektra, looking so torn but so deeply in love, promised to stand by him. They secretly got married right then and there. Elektra Forrester is now Elektra Spencer. Let that sink in for a second. The ultimate betrayal in the eyes of the Forresters. But of course, secrets do not stay secret in Los Angeles for long. Especially not when you are a Forrester or a Spencer. The news broke back home almost immediately. I don't even know how it leaked so fast. Maybe a paparazzi caught them leaving the chapel, or maybe a Vegas clerk tipped off a tabloid because of their famous last names. However it happened, the news transmitted back to LA, and oh boy, the explosion. The absolute volcanic eruption from Ridge Forrester was terrifying. I swear I saw a vein popping out of Torsten K's forehead. Ridge completely, totally lost his mind. He was screaming, throwing things, acting like the world was ending. What was Ridge thinking? Did he really think he could just order a grown woman to stop loving someone and she would just blindly obey him forever? Ridge, the man who has been married to Brooke Logan 9 times. 9, he has divorced 8 times. And let's not forget, Ridge literally married Shauna Fulton in Vegas when he was blackout drunk a few years ago. And he is standing there lecturing Elektra about making a mistake. The hypocrisy is just staggering. It actually makes me laugh out loud. Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh on Ridge because he is just trying to protect his family from a guy who has a history of punching people. But you get what I mean? He pushes way too hard. And then came the threat, the big, ugly, unforgivable Forrester threat. Ridge gets Elektra on the phone, or maybe she came back to LA to face the music. The pacing was so fast I can barely keep it straight, and he drops the absolute hammer on her. He threatens to completely disinherit Elektra. He tells her that if she does not annul this marriage or get a divorce immediately, right this second, she is done, cut off. No Forrester money. No Forrester Creations job. No jewelry line. No legacy. Nothing. He threatened to strip her of her entire identity. He told her she would be dead to the family. And you could see the sheer terror in Elektra's eyes. Because she loves Will. She really does, but she is a Forrester. That name is everything to them. It's her career, her passion, her blood. Ridge is basically holding her entire life hostage just to get his way. It is so toxic. It's emotional blackmail at its finest. But then Will steps up, and this was the moment of the week for me. Will doesn't back down. He doesn't cower in fear of the great Ridge Forrester. He steps in front of his new wife, looks Ridge dead in the eye, and declares war. Will announces that he will protect Elektra with the massive Spencer family wealth. He tells Ridge that he can keep his Forrester money because the Spencers have more than enough to take care of her. Will officially ignites a brutal, ruthless legal and corporate war. He declares that he will unleash the Spencer lawyers to protect Elektra's rights, her assets, and her freedom from Ridge's tyrannical control. Will reminds Ridge that the Spencers are not to be messed with. If Ridge wants to play dirty and use lawyers and trusts and inheritances as weapons, Will is ready to fight fire with fire. And you just know Bill Spencer is sitting in his office at Spencer Publications, sipping a drink, smiling like a proud, dangerous shark. Bill loves a war, especially a war against Ridge Forrester. Bill is probably already drafting up a blank check to fund Will's legal battles. Bill has always wanted his sons to be ruthless, and Will is finally showing that Spencer edge. So now we have this massive clash of the titans. Spencer versus Forrester, and it's not just about fashion anymore. It's not about the hope for the future Diamond or Logan Creations. It's about a marriage. It's about control over a human being. Will is basically saying, you can't buy her, and you can't starve her out, because I have the Spencer Empire backing me up. It is so intense, you guys. The stakes have never been higher for these younger characters. But let's zoom out for a second and talk about the bigger pattern here. This fits the show's usual style of family feuds, obviously. The Spencers and Forresters have been at each other's throats for decades. But it feels different this time because Elektra is so young and so caught in the middle. She isn't Brooke or Taylor fighting over Ridge for the 100th time. She is a young woman who just wanted to love her boyfriend and design her jewelry. And now she is the ultimate prize in a billionaire war. Elektra's internal conflict is just heartbreaking to watch. She is standing right on the borderline between love and family. She looks at Will and she sees freedom. She sees a guy who is willing to burn down the entire world to protect her. A guy who took her away from the screaming and the ultimatums and made her his wife. But then she looks at her phone, seeing all the angry texts from Ridge and Eric, and she realizes the true, devastating cost of that freedom. The cost of freedom is permanent estrangement from her prestigious family. If she stays with Will, she loses the Forresters forever. She loses Eric's approval, which means everything to her. She loses her place at the company she loves. She becomes an outcast, a traitor to her own bloodline. And for a Forrester, that is literally like a death sentence. Can love really survive that kind of pressure? I mean, what were they thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well? They are so young, and they just threw a grenade into the middle of the two most powerful families in Los Angeles. Honestly, I don't know if they can make it. The fans on social media are completely divided right now. My timeline is a mess. Half of the fans are cheering for Will and Elektra, calling them the new Romeo and Juliet, praising Will for standing up to Ridge's bullying. The other half are saying Will is toxic, that he isolated her, and that Elektra is ruining her entire life for a guy who has anger issues. And I kind of see both sides. I mean, Will did beat up RJ. That wasn't cool, but Ridge is acting like a complete tyrant. It's hard to root for anyone completely, but the drama is just top tier. And what about RJ? Oh my god, RJ must be fuming right now. He thought he had one. He was playing the good guy, comforting Elektra after the breakup, positioning himself as the safe, superior romantic choice. And now she runs off and marries his rival in Vegas. RJ is going to lose his mind. I wouldn't be surprised if RJ teams up with Ridge to try and destroy Will legally. And Melissa Dillon, she was waiting in the wings, literally plotting to rebound with Will while he was drunk and vulnerable. Now she's left out in the cold, her manipulation tactics completely useless because Will went and put a ring on Elektra's finger. The ripple effects of this Vegas wedding are going to destroy so many relationships and create so many new enemies. The writers really pulled out all the stops for this one. I mean, last week we were dealing with Hope's fashion show and the corporate fallout, and now we have a secret Vegas wedding. The pacing is insane. Sometimes I complain that the show drags and repeats the same dialogue for weeks, but right now it is moving at 100 miles an hour, and I am here for it. So what happens next? Will Elektra cave to Ridge's threats and sign the divorce papers to save her inheritance? Or will she hold Will's hand and walk away from the Forrester empire forever, relying on the Spencer wealth? I honestly think she might try to find a middle ground, but Ridge isn't going to allow that. It's an all-or-nothing situation. Ridge has drawn a line in the sand. And let's not forget Eric. Eric has been so rigid and unforgiving lately. He banished Will. He publicly humiliated and fired Donna. He is demanding absolute, blind loyalty from everyone in his orbit. If Elektra defies him and stays married to Will, Eric might just write her out of his will completely and ban her from the Forrester building for life. The Forrester patriarchs are not messing around right now. They are out for blood. I am just so tired of seeing these young characters get crushed by the older generation's massive egos. Ridge and Bill have hated each other for decades, and now Will and Elektra are paying the price for that toxic history. It's a never-ending cycle of toxicity, but you know what? That's why we watch. We love the drama. We love the mess. We live for these explosive family showdowns. Okay, I need to wrap this up before my editor actually kills me. This whole storyline is just a massive, emotional roller coaster. A secret wedding, a disinheritance threat, a billionaire legal war, and a girl torn between the love of her life and the family that defines her. It is peak soap opera perfection. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you Team Will and Electra fighting for their freedom? Or are you Team Ridge trying to protect the family legacy? I honestly don't even know whose side I'm on anymore. I just want to see what happens next. See you guys tomorrow for the next update. Stay beautiful.